Good evening. My name is Harshit and I'll be your mock examiner for the day. Can you please tell me your full name?
Well, my full name is Jansulu Atabekova,
And
and
how
you can
shall I
call me
address?
Jansulu.
Okay, fine. Now let's talk about where you live. So, do you live in a house or an apartment?
Well, currently I am living in a house, and that's not that large one, but that's an, let's say, a little bit larger, but not small one. We have only 5 rooms in our house, and I guess that's enough for all of us.
Mhm. What do you like about your home?
Well, the best thing that I really like about my home, of course, is convenience, because you can find that what that environment, pe- peaceful environment that you can never find it anywhere, like in a crowded place or in anywhere, because I can work there for a day, from dawn to dusk without any kind of noises.
Okay, great. Is there anything you would like to change about your house?
Well, there is one thing that I like to change if I had a change about my hometown, and that is, I guess, the number of rooms, because yeah, I thought that is enough for all of us, but in the future we might have some other siblings, of course, nobody knows, and that's why I'm gonna make it a little bit larger. I mean, I'm gonna expand it for 7 or 8 rooms.
Okay, that's pretty big. I would maybe you'll need a mansion or something. So, what kind of house would you like to live in the future?
Well, I'm looking forward to living in a luxurious house, of course, with a lot of facilities like swimming pool, bathroom, kitchen, and everything that we can have. And also the room of my own, because I need a room to do all of my stuff like working, studying, and everything. So, yeah.
Okay, great. Now let's talk about reading. Do you enjoy reading?
Yeah, of course. I don't just like reading actually. I adore reading. Because since I had a chance to hold the book on my hands, I really love reading.
Mhm. What type of books do you prefer?
Well, usually I prefer to read some comic books or historical books as well, because they are one of the most interesting ones that what, you cannot take your eye from them, because it will
Mhm.
be so interesting.
Do you prefer reading ebooks or printed books?
Well, for the most part, I prefer to read ebooks because they are one of the most convenient ones because you can read it at any time that you wish, even you are at work or you are in subway. Yeah, I prefer to read ebooks rather than that what traditional books.
Who is your favorite author?
Could you repeat it, please?
Yes, who is your favorite author?
Well, my favorite author is James Clear, and who wrote that book called Atomic Habits. And I
Mhm.
really love the way that he wrote it because when you read it, you think that you are not in a right path, which means you should change your direction to a right path. So yeah, it
Mhm.
changed my life, I guess I can say.
Okay, how did it change your life?
For example, in the past, I would wake up at 5 or 6. I mean, that doesn't really about my waking up times, but about my habits. Because whenever I would tell somebody about my plans or about my intention, I would never do it. But after reading that book, I noticed that nobody should tell about their plans, about their future intentions to anybody, which means they can achieve it in an easy way because that people will be disturbing you in a in-depth
Okay,
way
great.
as well.
Now I'm gonna give you a cue card. So, and I want you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. So before you talk, you'll have 1 minute time to think about what you're gonna say. Okay, you can make some notes if you wish. So you have 1 minute time to prepare. You may make notes if you wish. Your 1 minute time starts now.
1 minute later.
Can you start speaking now?
Of course. Well, I'm going to talk you about the time when I had to make a decision, and which was a hard one for me. At first, I'm gonna start talking about my journey in English. And when I was in fourth grade, I actually started learning English. And despite the fact that I didn't have any kind of teachers in our hometown, I did my best to try out some new teachers, the best ones. I really challenged myself for that. And after that, I got my safer certificate. And then what I made a decision like I should go to Tashkent to study IELTS because IELTS is the most important part to enter to first university and to get employed as well. And then I went there. I started taking up some lessons in Cambridge, and in which I had a teacher who was the best teacher there. But after 3 months of studying, of pushing me a lot, he decided to go to another English center. But it made me so pissed off because I really got accustomed to the way he teaches, the way he organized the lessons. And then I should make a decision like this. I should stay there, I mean in Cambridge, or going with him to study, I mean to continue my journey. I talked with my mom and dad about that, and they of course agreed with me. And then I went to that educational center that my teacher went, and I got really inspired. I mean, I was really thankful for going there because the format, everything was the same as Cambridge. And of course, with my best teacher, with my favorite teacher, it was even much better. So yeah, I then realized that I made the best
Okay,
decision
thank
in
you so
my
much.
life.
All right, are you still in touch with your favorite teacher?
Well, of course, for a long time we have been in touch with him because we can, of course, text messages with Telegram or in Instagram to to keep in touch, like talking about our future or past and even intentions and everything. Yeah.
Okay. Do you often have to make difficult decisions?
Well, I guess it depends on the situation. For example, there might be some times when I have to make decisions, I mean some challenging hard decisions like choosing extracurriculars or choosing what proper job or helping to my either mom or dad. Sometimes it can be a hard decision for me. Yeah, I
Okay,
guess.
now let's talk more about decision making. So, what kind of decisions do people usually make every day?
Well, there are a variety of them that people make decisions, I mean, that hard ones in their daily lives. For example, it can be either what leaving the job or staying in the job, depending on the curriculum, depending on their what hectic schedule, and it might be also either about what getting married to girls. I mean, which one, who one is better, who one is even worse, and everything. Or as a third one, I guess it would be choosing that either fast food or what homemade meals, because
All right.
sometimes my
Do you think decision making is more difficult for young people or older people? Why?
Well, I guess that's so obvious. Younger people might find it difficult to make some decisions due to their lack of ability to think logically and also their lack of experience as well. Because they might it find hard for like while they are choosing a job, for example, they cannot find its proper one because they don't know about the future of that job or about how they might go with that job. But olders can know a lot about that because they have that sheer knowledge, that a lot of experience in their lives that they gain from their work and studies. That's why I
Okay.
guess
Do you think it's better to make decisions quickly or is it better to take some time?
Well, I guess the latter view is better than the former one because while you take your time to make some decisions, which means you make a decision which is so great because after thinking a lot, you think about the both sides of the coin, like about the advantages and disadvantages. And but if you make it quickly, you cannot really make that really good decision because you just think quickly and then make a decision. That's why I guess.
Hmm. So should decisions always be based on logic?
Well, I guess so because making decisions do more that depend on how you think. Because if you can not think logically or critically, which means you cannot make the best decision, make the best decision in your life. Because while you are thinking critically, which means you can think ahead of time, which means you can know what will happen if you make this decision or
So
what
do
will
you
not
think
happen
emotions,
after
so do
making
you think emotions affect decision making?
emotions. You said,
Yeah,
well,
so do you think emotions affect decision making?
sometimes yes, because while you are so sad or while you are so out of steam, which means you cannot make the right decision, but while you are calm or feeling that what peace, which means you can make the best decision, best decision, because that's statistically true. Because when your brain is calm, when your brain is not thinking about anything, you can make the best decision ever, or you can also do everything rightly and in a professional way.
Hmm. Thank you. This is the end of the speaking test.
It was a little bit good.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Overall, it went well. Okay, you did answer. Okay, okay. And in part three, you had some struggle and you got some issues with your pronunciation. As the Uzbek tech, your touch, your L1 touch is coming and it's affecting some of your words, such as the, then journey, there. So when you say there or even the, it's sounding a bit different. So I'll talk about it in depth in the feedback video. Okay. Even with house, you're stressing on that with Uzbek speakers, you stress on edge, like your tongue goes to the roof of your mouth, right? I think so. So with English, it doesn't happen. So I got that issue with your pronunciation. Otherwise, overall, it went well. I'll share your band score along with feedback real soon. Okay?
Mhm.